In the early days of the Pacific War, Japanese pilots in nimble Zeros dominated the skies by baiting Allied planes into low-speed dogfights. They expected the same from the P38 Lightning, but they were met with a twin-tailed devil that refused to play by their rules. Unlike single-engine fighters, the P-38 used two massive turbo-supercharged engines that allowed it to fight at altitudes where the Zero's performance withered. Japanese pilots were shocked to find that when they tried to lure the P-38 into a turn, the American pilots simply climbed vertically, disappearing into the clouds before the Japanese engines could even gasp for air. The shock turned to terror when Japanese aces realized they could no longer dive to safety. In a Zero, diving too fast meant the controls would freeze or the wings might snap. In the P-38, a dive was a high-speed hunt. With its heavy airframe and streamlined design, the Lightning could hit speeds that the Japanese aircraft simply could not match. Pilots who thought they were at a safe distance would look back to see the P-38 closing the gap in seconds. Because the P-38's guns were concentrated in the nose rather than the wings, it didn't need to get close to converge its fire. It could snipe Japanese planes from hundreds of yards away with laser-like precision. The ultimate shock for the Japanese High Command was when they realized the P-38 Lightning could reach targets they thought were untouchable. This culminated in one of the most significant aerial assassinations in history, Operation Vengeance. Intelligence had intercepted the flight path of Admiral Isoroku Yamamoto, the mastermind behind the Pearl Harbor attack. The problem was that his transport was hundreds of miles away, deep behind Japanese lines. No ordinary fighter had the legs for a round trip that long, but the P-38 was no ordinary fighter. By utilizing massive external drop tanks and precision fuel management, a flight of Lightnings flew a low-altitude 400-mile detour over the ocean to avoid radar detection. The Japanese escort pilots were completely blindsided. They believed they were far beyond the reach of any American land-based aircraft. When the twin-tailed silhouettes suddenly appeared on the horizon, moving at full combat power, the shock was total. The P-38 didn't just have the range to get there, they had the speed to dictate the entire engagement. They intercepted the Admiral's transport and sent it crashing into the jungle before the stunned escort Zeros could even drop their own fuel tanks to respond. This mission proved that the P-38 had turned the vast Pacific into a small pond. The Japanese could no longer find safety in distance, as the Lightning could now appear anywhere, at any time, with enough fuel left to win the fight and fly home. By the end of the conflict, the P-38 had claimed more Japanese aircraft than any other fighter in the U.S. inventory, forever cementing its reputation as the twin-tailed devil.